Good morning, class. Miss. How's everybody doing? Fine. Great. Fantastic. Okay, that's glad to hear. So before we formally start our discussion, let us pray first. Anyone who wants to lead a prayer? Okay, so everyone, please settle down. Class monitor, may I know who are absent for today? Alright, thank you. So only Chan is absent for today. Anyway, today we will be tackling another topic. But before that, let me show you these pictures. Okay class, what do you see in pictures A and B? Yes? Picture A is a king and picture B is a guava. What do you think is the connection of the two? Anyone? Guava is the king's fruit. Okay, so let us find out if your answers are correct. And for those who have no idea, we'll see how these pictures are associated with each other. Today, we will be discussing another topic, which is legend. However, before we delve into our main topic, I have prepared a story here entitled The Legend of Guava Fruit. So this is from Filipino Legends. This is a sample of a legend, which is our main course for today. Okay, I want you to read, understand, and analyze the story so you'll be able to find out what is a legend as well as its characteristics and features based on your understanding of the story. And to start with, I want someone to read the story. Yes, Miss Hakasulo, please.
There was once a very thin king named Barabbas who were hated by many people due to his greediness and madness. He always put on his crown to show the people how powerful he is. One day, while King Barabbas is taking his plentiful lunch, there was a beggar who has no parents go near to him and asked for a small alms. Have mercy on me, King Barabbas. I am an orphan. It's been 3 days since the last time I have eaten a food and I'm always walking around finding a place to stay, pleaded the beggar. And who are you to go near me while I'm taking my meal? You should have asked alms to the servants, not from me, shouted the king. I already asked the servants, but they refused to give me food, said the beggar while crying. Go away! Go stay out of my sight! You made me lost my appetite! Shouted the king to the beggar. Instead of moving away, the beggar go much nearer to the king. The king get angry and thrown a cup of soup to the beggar. He was surprised when the beggar suddenly disappeared, and when he started to stand up to ask for help, he suddenly fell from his chair. The servants immediately go near the lying king, checked his pulse, and shocked to find out that he's already dead. The king was buried with no condolences from the people. The people choose a new king and had forgotten King Barabbas. One day, the servant of the new king, punting while bringing the news to the new king. There was a fruit tree that grew in the King Barabbas' tomb. The tree has a lot of fruits. The tree was filled with fruits and every one of them has a small crown, said the new king. He picked one fruit and opened it. Oh, the fruit is filled with seeds, hard and small seeds. Then the old woman shouted, It's as hard as the heart of King Barabbas. Another old man tasted the fruit. It's so sour, the same sour as the attitude and face of King Barabbas. Days had passed and nobody heeded the fruit of the tree until it became ripe. The tree then became enjoyment of the kids. They loved to eat the ripe fruit of the tree. They changed, it became sweet and tasty, and aside from that, it has good benefits for the human body. since then, the fruit were called bayabas.
Alright, thank you so much for reading. You may take your seat now. So class, what have you found out from the story? I have found out that the guava fruit comes after a king named Barabbas. After reading the legend of guava fruit, how would you define a legend? A legend aims to teach readers a lesson, and it contains exaggerated facts. So why do you think the story, the legend of guava fruit, is a legend? Because it has a moral lesson that we can ponder on, and also it is a half true story that has significance for the society which it emerged. Alright, so all your answers are correct. So to define, a legend is a story from the past about a subject that was or is believed to have been historical. Meaning to say, class, that legend is a story about human events or actions that has not been proved nor documented in real history. Legends are told as if they are relevant and were believed to be historical events. Now let us know the different characteristics of a legend. First, it contains fantastic elements. It aims to explain facts of history. And the story takes place in a specific place. So when we say fantastic elements, one of the most characteristics or features of the legends is that in them, there are many fantastic elements including magical events and supernatural entities. Second characteristics of a legend is that it aims to explain facts of history. So legends are intended to explain things that hypothetically happened in the past and that serve to better understand some aspect of the here and now. So we have already seen that a large part of these stories did not really happen, so they are usually interpreted with a mixture of credulity in the face of facts for which there is no proof on one hand, and a belief that the events of the past that are explained or captured in the legend through metaphors. And the third one is the story takes place in a specific place. So at first glance, this feature may seem bland, because after all, in today's world, we are used to the fact that most of the stories we read or hear are about specific characters performing actions in specific places. However, we must take into account that in this genre, it is very common to deal with themes and events of such an abstract nature that we're hardly able to imagine where the events occur. So that's all for the characteristics of legend. Then we will proceed now to our activity. Actually, class, we have two sets of activities for our application part. So the first activity, you will be working in a group, and for the other activity, you will have an oral recitation. Now, let us have our first activity since we have still enough time. So for the first group, you are to recount the story through song. For the second group, you are to recount the story through jingle. And for the third group, you have to do role playing of the story, The Legend of the Guava Fruit. Make sure to do your best because the group who can garner the highest score will receive an additional 10 points for their class standing. Also, please be guided by the rubrics. I will give you 15 minutes to prepare and after that, you will proceed immediately to each group's performances. So since everyone did well in their presentation, everyone will receive an additional 10 points for their performance. Now let us proceed with our next activity, which you are going to answer individually. So this is in relation to the story you have read earlier. So for the first question, what is the moral lesson of the story? The moral lesson we can get from the story is that we should practice humility. Even if we have the highest position in life or in the society, we should not be arrogant about it, and we should not be abusive in power. We should help one another because we are created equally. And in times of difficulties, we need each other's hands to survive. Thank you, Miss Hakasala. Thank you so much. I totally agree with what you said. So next question. What makes the legend of guava fruit a legend? Yes, Miss Tiglet. The legend of guava fruit is considered as legend because, first and foremost, it contains exaggerated facts like how the story ends. They believe that the guava come from the late King Barabbas. Also, it is a legend because it talks about events that are seen to be real and believed to be historical and teaches readers a lesson. Excellent, Miss Tiglet. Now let's proceed to our third question. What are the characteristics of a legend which you can find from the story? Yes, Miss Pagar? For me, there are two characteristics present in the story. First is it explains facts of history, and second, the story takes place in a specific place. Okay, thank you so much for your ideas. Truly, you have understood our lesson for today. Alright, for your assignment, you have two tasks to do. Please take a picture of this or copy this to your notebooks, and I will collect that one next meeting. Thank you for coming into my class and enjoy the rest of the day. Goodbye, class.